People, what's good? Welcome back to another video. Y'all know how the intro goes. It's your boy Tony, aka Two Tone, and I haven't done this in a while, but I felt it was time to do it because tomorrow's a big day for Barcelona. So a big day for a lot of clubs in the Champions League, but specifically for Barcelona. Y'all already know how it goes down with Barcelona news on this channel. So in today's video, man, like I said, we're just gonna be looking at the fixtures. Throw my predictions in there, and then I'd like to see what you guys think about as far as match predictions, but also going with projected lineups. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to be reacting to some news, because Barcelona's been pretty busy in the January transfer window. And my main question, looking at a lot of the signings and the players we've been linked to, is this just for the youth team, or can we actually see a couple of these players play in the first team before the end of the year? A lot to unpack in this video. I appreciate y'all for being here with me today, but let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's pull up the first bits. So yeah, getting on this Champions League fixtures, man. I like how they got everybody playing at the same time, so nobody can sit back and watch results for the teams that need to win, draw, etc. As far as looking at the standings right now, it looks like Arsenal's comfortably in. Bayern Munich would be comfortably in as well. I also say Real Madrid, Liverpool, Tottenham should be in as well with 14. Especially if they just get any kind of result, I think they would be in mathematically. Looking at PSG, looking at Newcastle, we need some things to go our way, because Newcastle has to play against PSG. If both of those teams draw, that's 14-14. Chelsea has to play Napoli. That's not easy, bro. Some fixtures can go our way to where Barcelona, we just got to not only handle business, but try to win by as many goals as possible. Because somebody let me know, does goal difference actually matter? Because if they do, then we're going to have to not only beat Copenhagen, but we're going to have to make sure we have a better goal difference than Sporting, and we may have to put ourselves in a position where we got a better goal difference than Chelsea, even though I don't really know how much that will matter because they have that head-to-head. So it's going to be interesting, bro. I do believe going into tomorrow's game, speaking of Barcelona, I do believe that though we're missing Pedri and though we're missing Frankie de Jong, we should still have enough to go out there and win. Looking at the projected lineup, they got Lewandowski as striker. It would be a nice story to see Rooney starting at right mid, but he's not starting at right mid. We already know Lamine Yamal is starting at right mid. Fermi Lopez, Rafinha, Marcelo. Will he go with Eric Garcia in the midfield, knowing that Frankie de Jong and Pedri is out? Or will he keep Eric Garcia in the back line, and then this is Marc Bernal's opportunity to pair with Marcelo in that midfield? It will be a big opportunity for Marc Bernal. I say why not? Because if he's supposed to be in that same potential to be special with Kubarsi and Lamine Yamal, there's no question that those two is going to play. And I know Marc Bernal's situation is different, where he basically missing out a whole season with the injury, but eventually at some point we're going to need him to step up. So I personally would have Eric Garcia in over Gerard Martin, to have Eric Garcia and Kubarsi as my partnership at center back, Balde and Koundé as my fullbacks. But like I said, I would have Marc Bernal in the starting 11. That's my call. It's easier to make that call from the crib compared to actually being the manager of Barcelona, where a lot is on the line and you have to get 3 points. So now that I'm saying all that, I can see him going with Eric Garcia in the midfield, and I wouldn't be mad at it. But I would personally like to see Marc Bernal starting in that midfield. Y'all let me know y'all projections on the starting 11. Do you agree with FootMob? Like I said, it's one glaring obvious mistake. Unless it's something that I missed out. I know he served his yellow card suspension already. So he should be in the game automatically. Lamine Yamal. I don't see why he wouldn't start. And like I said, I will put in Marc Bernal and have Eric Garcia in for Gerard Martin. That's just me. Y'all let me know what y'all think on that. But no matter what, we have to get all 3 points. When I look at Copenhagen's, I'm gonna be real. Where are they? I don't know. I have no idea where they at. I believe they need a positive result to be able to even qualify for the knockout. Yeah, see, they're on 8 points. They're technically tied with Olympiacos. Wow, Napoli is all the way down here at 25th, bro. They're not going to do anything against Chelsea. I'm not holding my breath for them to do anything against Chelsea. Are they even at home? They are at home. Maybe not. We'll see. I'm not holding my breath. Barcelona, we just got to make sure we do what we got to do. Because Copenhagen have 8 points. They have something to play for because they are technically tied with 22nd through 24th. So it's a lot to play for. And that would be huge for FC Copenhagen if they can make it to the knockout round to see if they can qualify for the round of 16. And that would be huge for their club, especially financially. So it's not going to be easy for Barcelona. As I mentioned in my last video, we almost needed that first half where we came out against Real Oviedo and we came out looking flat because we just thought, look at where they at and look at where we at in the standings. We should just win. We're at home. We got the better players, the better coach. I can go on and on and on. But the performance didn't match the names on the sheet, on the player sheet. So Barcelona has to come out like how they came out in that second half, where they took the game more seriously. They were pressing. They created errors. They started folding under pressure, and the talent started to separate himself. All because they started putting in a little bit more effort. You go out in that first half against Copenhagen, or you just go out there and play the whole game against Copenhagen like you did in that first half, you will find yourself dropping points, and we will be in a situation where we have to play in the playoff. And then the thing is, even if you still think Barcelona will be fine if we go to the playoff, we should but we should be favorites to beat anybody we go up against in the playoff. Well, one, you don't want to leave it to that, because imagine getting knocked out to where you don't even get out the group, because you technically wouldn't get out the group because you didn't even make it to the round of 16. Imagine what that can do, the damages that will do, not only to the reputation and obviously with Barcelona fans having to deal with what we have to deal with on social media, but as far as financial implications. So we have to take care of business. We have to go out there and play serious. And I say all that to say, I do believe the players will be up for it. I think part of the reason why the performance was bad against Real Oviedo is because of the fact that they was looking forward to a Champions League game. They knowing that it's second at the time, but if they win their game, they're first in the league, going against the team who's worse in the league. They already beat them at Real Oviedo's home. So all these things play into effect, but I do think that they will be ready for the game. Because if not, I'll be stunned. I'll be surprised. I can't lie. But this is Hansi Flick's Barcelona. In bigger games, I feel like a lot of us go out there with a little bit more confidence than maybe in the past. I used to be pessimistic in big games, but Hansi Flick has definitely changed that. So I think the boys will be ready. But let me know what y'all think on that, man. Like I said, what do y'all think of the predictions as far as who do you think you're going to win? As far as me, I do think Barcelona will go out there beating Copenhagen. I think it would be something like 4-1. I do think we will put goals up. And I believe Copenhagen, I've heard they got a pretty decent attack. They do play on the front foot. They don't sit back and park the bus. So they may get one opportunity against our high line, understanding that they have something to play for. But I do think they will struggle keeping us out the net. And I expect us to get at least 4. So that's my prediction. Barcelona winning 4-1 tomorrow. And hopefully that will be enough, with results going our way, to get Barcelona in that top 8, because man, I would like to avoid a playoff. Yeah, like I said, man, that's all I really got on that point. Let me switch over to this. I got a few bookmarks I wanted to get over to, because there's been a few here he goes with Fabrizio today. everybody knows by now. I haven't really put my 2 cents on it because I kind of really wasn't sure if this was really just a B team signing. And I really don't get into the B team signings, to be real, at least not now. But the more I see about this, the more I believe this guy actually will have a chance to play for Barcelona's first team, maybe even before the end of the season. It says here Barcelona seals the agreement to sign Joensley Onstein, okay, as a new center back. Here we go. Signing completed from Barça B. For Barça B from Genk, I think it's how you say their name, for the Dutch 18-year-old defender who is close to a move to Serie A this month. I have seen that he was linked with AC Milan, but it looks like Barcelona beat them to the signing. And I've been seeing online that a lot of people, especially over there in the Netherlands, they're kind of comparing him to what Virgil van Dijk was at 18. I'm not saying he's like Liverpool, the finished product Virgil van Dijk, but where Virgil was at 18, a lot of people are saying this kid here is very similar as far as stature, as his development, and his eye for defense. So if that is the case, that's really good news. And I like the approach to Barcelona. It looks like we're going with Deco. And somebody help me remember the news. We got I think we got a main scout. I forgot his name, but he's new. And it seems like their strategy is to go for younger players instead of spending big. Now, obviously, there's always going to be room for Barcelona in this big signing in key positions, right? But overall, the bulk of the money will be spent on guys that we may sign for Barça B, who may register through Barça B, but we see them within 6 months to a year playing a few games for the first team. In Barcelona, we are the kings of giving young players opportunities, relying already on La Masia. So to be able to see what this kid is about with a lot of hype, get him into the Barça B, get him developed, put him on a training regimen, have him at least get down with the basics in Spanish. But I do think we will be able to see him here relatively soon. I do believe that. Let me know what y'all think on this signing. And do you think you will see him in the first team for Barcelona before the end of the year? Another topic I haven't really discussed too much on. It kind of blew me, bro. I ain't gonna lie, to see this. But now it's official. And it states here, another one from Fabrizio Romano, official, confirmed. Paris Saint-Germain signed Drole from Barcelona on a deal valid until 2030. Barcelona received 8.2 million fee, which is higher than a 6 million release clause. I guess that's, commendable from PSG. They really are trying to amend their relationship with the club, because there was a stretch every Barcelona fan felt like how I felt. I'm sure a lot of them felt that way. It was forever fuck PSG, because it felt like their identity came from just signing Barcelona players, whoever we couldn't keep. We can go on and on, from Neymar to Messi to Dembele, now with Drole, and I'm sure some other players that I'm missing out on. But a part of their identity features a lot of players who just so happen to play for Barcelona as well. But that looks to be in the past with Joan Laporta being the president, and it seems that he's getting on well with PSG and their leadership. So they threw us a bone, and it looks like, what is it, about a 30-something% increase on the release clause, because they could have just triggered that and told us to go fuck ourselves. They could have. But shout out to PSG, throwing in a few extra million for us. We'll take it. But he also mentioned this in a tweet. This is due to good club-to-club relationship, between Barcelona and PSG, especially Nasser Al-Khelaifi and Joan Laporta, but that's their president name. Nasser Al, something shit. I don't know. I don't want to fuck your name up, bro. I'm gonna be real. But cool little money we got from Dro. That's his decision. You never know. Sometimes guys come back. We seen that with Dani Olmo, and we seen that with Eric Garcia. Maybe we'll see that with him. Maybe not. But I do know Barcelona's going to be fine. That's why I didn't really make too much of a fuss about Dro leaving. It was unfortunate. But, I'm not going to turn around and shit on him because he's leaving and all of a sudden I don't rate him, because I seen a lot of people do that and I thought that was fake. But at the same time, I'm not going to overreact and act like, how will La Masia be able to recover losing out on a player like Dro? We have a lot of players in his position coming up that even has a higher ceiling than his. I'm just being honest. And for him, he's not walking into the starting 11. But at the same time, maybe him and his team was able to take advantage of getting, I think his salary increased by five times. And, he'll if he plays, he plays. If he don't, he don't. Same situation he was in Barcelona, but at least he's making more money. I think that's what his agents want. He probably was cool with that as well. So who knows, man? But good luck to Dro. I'm not going to be one of them lame ass motherfuckers who's just going to sit back and hate. I don't like that. But, it is what it is. And some other good news, though. Barcelona verbally agreed a new deal with Fermin Lopez until 2031. Speaking of cams for Barcelona, Fermin rejected to leave in August. As we know, he was heavily linked to Chelsea, only for about 40 million euros. Luckily, thank God, we decided to laugh at that offer and keep him, because he seemed pretty content with leaving. He wasn't forcing a move, but he seemed that if they end up agreeing on a deal, I'm not going to fight leaving. But ultimately, it was his preference to stay. We was able to work it out. Hansi Flick had a big role into keeping him here, which is good. And they saying that the new deal could be signed already this week, which is really good news, because Fermin Lopez offers something that a lot of La Masia players really don't offer. We got a lot of technical players in the midfield, and we got a lot of ball playing defenders, and I can go on and on. But as far as ball strikers, goal scorers, from my time being a Barcelona fan, since I've been watching this sport going back to 2012, I haven't seen a lot of La Masia players come out and they're just lethal in front of goal like for me. So it's very important that we keep him, and we did that. And he also believe he's getting a 50% salary increase, so he probably wasn't even making that much to begin with. But it's good to see. We lost Dro because financially his agents weren't satisfied and he weren't cool with playing time. Obviously he's playing a lot more. Like, he's arguably our starting cam, but he still has to rotate. But at least while you rotating and on the games you sitting down on the bench, I don't want you sitting on the bench and you thinking about how much money you ain't making. So go ahead and do what we got to do as a club to get him some more money, and it looks like that's what we're doing. So shout out to Joao Laporta and Deco for getting that taken care of. Another player, I highlighted this. Like I said, Barcelona, man, we done damn near signed 4 or 5 players for Barça B, or at least we're close to signing 4 or 5 players for Barça B. Most of them probably will play for Barça B and be that way at least for the remainder of the year. He's another player, Uruguayan 19-year-old left back who can also play left center back, Patricio Pacifico. That's a goofy, no, I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna say he got a goofy ass name. I ain't gonna do that to him. But yeah, man, they say it's a loan deal with a $1.8 million buy option clause plus add-ons could become mandatory under certain conditions. I believe certain conditions is if he features at least a few games for the first team, then we're automatically going to trigger that $1.8 million buy option, and he would be a Barcelona first team player moving forward. I think either him or the first guy, Juwensley, one of those two, I believe we're going to be seeing that left center back moving forward. Maybe not immediately. Maybe we won't see it until spring when the fixtures start when we get to these knockout rounds, and we may have to rotate if somebody comes in replacing somebody due to injury. This could be a scenario where we see either one of them two. Could be cool to see both, but at least one of them, in my opinion, we will see one of them two in the first team. But y'all let me know what y'all think on this signing. From the montages I've seen from both of these guys, they seem like they're solid. Raw, but if you look at where they're performing, like in their respective leagues before they came to Barcelona, they seem to be in a higher percentile. So obviously these are signings made for projection. We're projecting these players to be really good, and Barcelona's like, we like the physical traits of these guys. Let's bring them in. Let's have them learn our play style, develop into our culture, and then let's see what he naturally brings plus what the club offers for players who play here, and let's see what that creates. I'm not mad at that strategy because we've seen it work from Rooney. Only 2 or 3 million euros he costs, and he's already showing that. He already showed it, but because he had that injury in with his knee, some teams kind of backed off. But Barcelona was like, this is a low risk, high reward. And already, if you put him back on the market from just being bought for $2 million, I say Rooney at least is worth 30 to 40 million. So off bat, we done 20x, his value. That's good business. Not saying we in it to turn around and sell them, but in case that we do, we're making clear profits. In Barcelona's situation, we obviously need to see that. So what y'all think on this signing? Y'all let me know. And this is the last one. I keep hearing things about this kid. I haven't seen anything as far as like videos. And I know he's young. He's 14. But I think this is pretty cool that Barcelona was able to renew. The kid's name is David Moreno, 14, considered the biggest talent at La Masia right now. It isn't officially announced yet, but it's done. That's good that, again, we already know with Barcelona, we prioritize youth players. But with this one being what you hear is the biggest talent out of the academy, we got to keep them. I know we can't keep all of them. Some guys we're going to lose, we don't want to lose. But the ones that's been dubbed the biggest talents out of the academy, we have to keep them. So if y'all see this video, make sure y'all go on my my Twitter account. Y'all see my name down here. Tag me on a video that shows me his highlights, if it's even available. If not, don't worry about it. But if it's out there and y'all see this video, tag me on that. Let me know what y'all think on this potential, and how soon could we see him? Because remember, Lamine was 14 and some change, then they're 15 before he made his first team appearance. Do I expect that with him? No, because in the midfield, you gotta have a little bit on you. On the winger, you could probably get away with that just a little bit. But that just shows how crazy Lamine's potential was. But yeah, we renewed David Moreno. I'm pretty sure we're going to be hearing this kid's name here very soon. But Barcelona, again, making sure we secure the future, man. All the young talent, we're bringing them in for cheap, developing them within the system, within the academy, within the B team, hoping that, they pan out. Because I remember, if I'm not mistaken, Rooney was supposed to be a B team signing, but immediately was playing for the first team and hasn't looked back since. So I like the direction that Barcelona is going. Very happy with that. Looks like we're close to being back to the 1-1. I ain't really hearing too much about registration. Again, these are B team signings, so really wouldn't make too much of a difference of the first team. But all in all, I'm happy with the moves that Barcelona have been making. A lot of people continue to be hard on Deco and Laporta at times, but I'm not mad at what they're doing, man. This is good business. So again, man, if you made it this far into the video, I do appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all leave a like, subscribe if y'all haven't subscribed, and again, jump in the comment section, man, and talk with me, man. What do you think about the big games tomorrow? Your predictions, your starting lineups in these games, especially for Barcelona, obviously. And again, reacting to these signings, man, do you think some of these signings are going to be first team players that's going to feature before the end of the year? Or do you think we just take it slow, keep them in the B team, and then go into the summer and then try them out in the preseason? So a lot to unpack, but I appreciate y'all for watching this video. I'm going to get up with y'all on the next one, man. Until then, Two Tone is out. Peace.